Once upon a time in the bustling city of Cape Coast, there lived a very rich man named Kweku Mensa. Kweku was known throughout the city for his big heart and his even bigger mansion. But despite his wealth, Kweku felt lonely. He longed to find a woman who would love him not for his money, but for who he truly was inside. One sunny morning, Kweku had an idea. What if I disguised myself as a poor man? That way I can find someone to love me for who I am, he thought. So Kweku put away his fancy clothes and wore a simple worn-out shirt and pants. He even traded in his shiny car for an old bicycle and set off for the city. Kweku decided to call himself Cojo, a common name, so that no one would suspect who he really was. As Cojo, he wandered around the market pretending to look for odd jobs. People passed him by, unaware that the poor man with a smile was actually the richest man in town. At the market, Cojo met Amma, a kind-hearted woman who sold beautiful hand-woven baskets. Amma had a warm smile that made Cojo feel welcome. "Hello, sir. Would you like to buy a basket?" she asked politely. Cojo smiled and explained that he didn't have much money, but he needed a job to earn some. To Kojo's surprise, Amma offered him a small job. "I need help carrying these baskets to my shop," she said. "I can't pay much, but it's honest work." Cojo was thrilled and quickly agreed. As they worked together, Cojo found himself admiring Amma's hard-working nature and cheerful attitude. Days turned into weeks, and Cojo visited Amma at the market every day. They became good friends, sharing stories and laughing together. Cojo was happy because Amma liked him as much as Cojo, not knowing that he was really Kweku Mensa, the rich man. As Cojo and Amma grew closer, he realized that he was beginning to fall in love with her. But he was also worried. What will happen when she finds out that I'm not really a poor man named Cojo? He wondered. One day, as they were closing up the market shop, Amma looked at Cojo and said, "Cojo, I have something important to tell you tomorrow. Please meet me here." Cojo nodded, his heart pounding. He knew that the time had come to tell Amma the truth. And so the next day would be a day of truths and perhaps a new beginning. The sun rose over Cape Coast, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink. Cojo hadn't slept much the night before. He was too nervous about his meeting with Amma. What would she tell him? And how would he finally confess his true identity? As Cojo rode his old bicycle to the market, he rehearsed what he would say to Amma. "Amma, I have something important to tell you. I am not who you think I am." He sighed. It sounded so complicated in his head. When he arrived, Amma was already there, arranging her baskets with her usual care. She looked up and smiled at Cojo, but he could tell that something serious was on her mind. "Good morning, Cojo," Amma greeted him. Her voice was calm, but Cojo could see a hint of nervousness in her eyes. "Good morning, Amma. You said you wanted to tell me something?" Cojo asked, trying to keep his voice calm. "Yes, Cojo, I do. But first tell me what you wanted to tell me. You look like you're carrying a heavy load," Amma said, her eyes filled with concern. Cojo took a deep breath. It was now or never. "Amma, I have not been completely honest with you. My name is not really Cojo. I'm Kweku Mensa, the owner of Mensa Estates. I disguised myself to find someone who would love me for who I am, not for my wealth." Amma's eyes widened in shock. She stepped back, her hand covering her mouth. "Kweku Mensa? The rich businessman? But why? Why are you pretending?" Kojo's heart sank when he saw her reaction. "I was lonely, Amma. I needed to know if someone could love me for me, not for my money. And every day I spent with you, I realized how much I admired and cared for you." Amma was silent for a moment, letting everything sink in. Then she took a deep breath and said, "Kweku, I'm surprised and a little upset, but I understand why you did it. I need some time to think about it." Cojo nodded, feeling a mixture of relief and fear. "Of course, take all the time you need. I'll wait for your answer." Just as Cojo started to leave, Amma stopped him. Wait, Cojo, or Kweku, I haven't told you my news yet. I've been offered a scholarship to study basketry and design in Accra. It's a great opportunity for me. Cojo smiled, his heart feeling a little lighter. Amma, that's wonderful news. I'm so happy for you. You must accept it. Amma nodded, a small smile appearing on her face. Thank you, Kweku. I think I will. But let's see where our paths lead us from here. As Cojo left the market, he felt a mixture of emotions. He was proud of Amma and hopeful for her future, but he also wondered what the future held for them together. Weeks passed since their conversation at the market, and Cojo found himself visiting the market less often. The bustling stalls and chattering crowds somehow felt emptier without his daily chats with Amma. Meanwhile, Amma focused on preparing for her new trip to Accra. She was excited about her studies, but her thoughts often drifted back to Cojo and his confession. One warm afternoon, as Amma was packing her materials and baskets for the upcoming move, she heard a knock at her shop door. She looked up to see Cojo standing there, a gentle smile on his face. Amma, I know you're leaving soon, and I didn't want you to go without seeing you once more, Cojo said, his voice tinged with sadness. Amma smiled, feeling a surge of warmth. Cojo, I'm glad you came. I've missed our conversations, she admitted. They spent the afternoon together, helping Amma pack and exchanging stories about their last weeks apart. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the baskets and cloths, Cojo helped Amma carry a heavy box to her storage room. Kweku, Amma began, using his real name for the first time. I've been thinking a lot about everything, about us, about your truth, and about this new chapter in my life. Cojo put down the box and faced her, his expression hopeful yet cautious. And what have you decided? He asked gently. I believe that people can grow from their experiences, Kweku. What you did was wrong, but I understand why you did it. I've seen the kindness in your heart, not just the wealth in your life, Amma said, her voice steady. Kojo's heart felt lighter, a feeling of relief washed over him. Does that mean you? Amma held up her hand and smiled gently. It means I'm ready to start over, but slowly, Kweku. Let's take our time to get to know each other again. No pretenses, no disguises, just you and me as we are. Cojo nodded, his smile widening. Nothing would make me happier, Amma. As they stood in the dim light of the storeroom, they both knew that the road ahead would be different. Not just starting over, but starting better, with honesty and deep understanding at the forefront. The next morning, as Amma prepared to leave for Accra, Cojo arrived at the train station to see her off. They promised to write to each other, share their experiences, and meet again soon. As the train pulled out of the station, Amma watched Cojo wave goodbye until he was just a speck in the distance. She felt a mixture of excitement for the future and nostalgia for the past months. But most of all, she felt hopeful about what the future might hold for both of them. As the months passed, the letters between Amma and Kweku grew thicker with affection and anticipation. Amma's studies in Accra flourished, and she soon became known for her innovative designs and the soulful touch she brought to traditional weaving. Kweku, on the other hand, began using his wealth to support local artisans, inspired by Amma's passion for craft and community. Eventually, the day came when Amma completed her course. She returned to Cape Coast, her heart full of excitement and a little nervousness. She had invited Kweku to her graduation exhibition, where her work would be displayed alongside that of her fellow students. Kweku arrived at the exhibition, his eyes searching until they found Amma. She was standing next to her display, her baskets more vibrant and intricate than ever. They embraced, no words needed for the moment as their eyes shared volumes. Amma, your work is incredible, Kweku said, admiring a particularly stunning basket woven with the colors of the Ghanaian sunset. Thank you, Kweku. It's good to be back and even better to see you here. Amma replied, her voice tinged with joy. As the evening wore on, they talked about their future, discussing the possibility of opening a workshop together. A place that could combine Kweku's resources with Amma's artistic vision. They agreed on a partnership that would benefit the community and help preserve traditional crafts. The partnership flourished. Kweku and Amma's workshop became a beacon in Cape Coast, attracting tourists and locals alike. Amma's designs were celebrated for their beauty and authenticity, while Kweku found true satisfaction in his role as a supporter of local talent and heritage. Years later, as they sat on the porch of their home watching the sunset, Amma turned to Kweku. "Do you remember how this all started?" she asked with a smile. Kweku chuckled. "How could I forget? I was just a rich man on a bicycle trying to find true love." "And you did," Amma said, squeezing his hand. "But you found much more than that." "Yes, I found that true wealth is not measured by the money you have, but by the love and respect you earn," Kweku replied, his eyes reflecting the deep hues of the twilight. Moral of the story: true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in genuine relationships and contributions to the community. Disguises may help reveal people's true colors, but only honesty and shared values can build lasting relationships and bring true happiness. This concludes our story. I hope you enjoyed it. We will continue to bring you the best content. I would be very happy if you could subscribe to the channel to support us and leave likes on the videos. We love you all. See you soon.